Hi, everyone. I'm Jess Haywood. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the belonging and engagement coordinator that works with clubs and organizations. This training is going to be on the optional pieces for the event registration form. So make sure that you've already watched the video on how to fill out the event registration form and the required pieces that are on there. This video is going to walk you through some of the options that you can use to better manage your events and clubs. So we've got the same event submission that we were working on before, our club involvement fair. And I'm going to walk you through some more details that you can do. So the first piece here is an organizing team. So it automatically puts your name as the event coordinator, but you can add team members as well. So if you're working on a really big event, or if you're working on an event with other people in other offices, you can add them to the team and they will be shown, and you can even like create an activity stream to update people, and you can choose how you want attendees to contact you if they have questions about your event. The next piece is in the time settings. This is super helpful for when you are doing your club meetings. So what you can do is you can submit one event request for club meetings. So you're going to set all of the meeting time, date, location for your first meeting. Let's say your first meeting is September 26th at 11 a.m. And if we have that same meeting every single week, we can click on recurring event settings, and we can click, we're having it on September 26th is our first one. And so we can take a look at, okay, it's this Thursday, and then it's the next Thursday, and it's every Thursday until the end of the term. So you can easily click for every single week, and it's going to recreate that meeting every week until the end of the term. Another piece in our time section is you can enter some specific instructions. For example, if you're showing a movie or it's a show, you can say doors open at 6:30, movie starts at 7. So they have a little bit more information there. In the where section, you can put in an address and make sure that it's very clear where the location is. This meeting section is really just for online meetings. So if you are having an online event and it is a Zoom meeting, then you can put your meeting link, your Zoom link right here. And you can let people know that it's a Zoom meeting or some other kind of piece. And then you can decide who gets to see that link. So maybe you don't want everyone to see it when they look at the event, but if they have registered, then they can see it. The next piece, keep in mind, we do have required that you do a photo or an image right here. Please don't upload your flyer in this section for the photo. Just choose a photo that's going to represent your event. But in this second section, upload a flyer, you can actually choose the full flyer for your event. And it will put that flyer right there on the page. It actually makes it really huge. So it's really cool that you can see that full flyer for the event. So let's say we've got an involvement fair event flyer. So once we save that, it will be visible on our event page. More details, you can attach files to the event if people need some more information, like say you're going on a trip and there's a packing list or something. Then you can also select food provided and type the food so people can easily search by events with food. Look closer at the who's allowed to register. So if anything is blue with a link, that means you have to click to select who can be invited or who can come. So some of these options, you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper if you only want to limit it to certain people. For the registration options, you're not really going to need to do anything in the registration options section. You don't really need a new option because we don't sell tickets or anything like that through this platform, but there's other options. So registration will be open from and to. So if this is something that's required for people to register to come to, then you can set an open date. Let's say it's open as of now, but they need to register by the 29th of August in order to be able to come. So at that point, if they try to register after the 29th of August at 1 p.m., or 1 a.m., they will be told that they can no longer register. You can also set an attendance limit for pre-registration or for check-ins. So if you know you only have 50 seats available, you can put 50, and then that will not allow more than 50 people to register or check in. If you want people to tell you that they are not coming, you can select this and people can say, no, I can't come to this event. Otherwise, the registration only shows people who can come to the event. This is one of my favorite settings, a reminder. You can check to send an automatic reminder. Even if you don't type in anything right here, it will send them an email with the details of the event. But you can type in specific things here, like don't forget to bring your water bottle. And then you can select how far before the event you want that reminder to be sent out. So that is great to remind people of your events coming up. Some of the other pieces here display the list of attendees too. I would recommend never clicking everyone because that means that anyone in the world can see who has signed up for an event. Most of our events, it's fine to put logged in users only, so that way other people can see if their friends are going to the event. If it's more of a protected event or something where you want to protect people's identities, I would recommend clicking nobody. And that way, when people go to your event, even if people have registered, nobody can see those names. You don't need to worry about ticket cover too much unless you want to create an image. The next piece is feedback request. So this is a survey. If you just check it here and you don't add a specific survey, it will just send a general feedback request. If you've attended an event, you've probably gotten one that asks you to rate it 1 through 5 stars, and then you have a chance to type something in. You can choose how far after the event you want that to be sent. A really cool thing here is you can create a form or survey and you can submit it here. And if you have a form or survey connected, then it will send that survey in this email afterwards instead of just the simple 5-star rating. So if you did a workshop and then you want to ask people how the workshop was, what they learned, etc., you would create that form first. And then once you've created that form, you can come into your event registration and you can select that form from the list, and it will automatically send them that form for feedback 24 hours or 7 hours, whatever, after the event. So that's a really good option to use too. We have even more options down here. Attendance tracking options. We want to make sure that the check-in method for the kiosk is set to enter name or email and activate RSVP at the door. That means that if they didn't register ahead of time, they can still register and check in at the door. If this is not clicked, then they can't check in at the door. You can also look at the little information pieces here to see what these options mean. So take a look through the options and see if there's anything that you want to click. Add more questions or slots. So this is an interesting piece where you can ask people questions when they register. For example, sometimes Epic uses a RSVP ahead of time for a large event if we're giving away something like a tote bag or a t-shirt. And so when people RSVP, we will get their name and their information through HawkNest. But what if we want to know what size t-shirt they want? If you want to add your own question here, you're going to click Add Question. Type in your question. What is your t-shirt size? And then from there, you can choose what kind of question it is. So you can do a drop-down menu and you can type in your answers, small, medium, extra large, whatever. You can, if you click text, they have to type something in. So for this kind of question, probably a drop-down menu is going to be the easiest. But you can also choose what time would you like to attend, or which slot would you like to fill for this? Or please upload a file such as a assumption of risk form to be able to attend this event. And then you can set if the answers can be changed. Once you put in the question and how it's going to be answered, then you have to click here to add your answers. So the first answer would be small. And ordering is just what appears first. So if ordering is 1, small is going to appear first. Make it active, save. So then we've got small, and then add answer, and I would do medium. And then if I leave it at 1, that's going to put medium above small. So I'm going to put it at 2. So it's small, medium, large. So you keep doing that for any answers that you want in your drop-down box. You can also turn them off. If you don't need to ask a specific question, but you want some of this information or some of this information is required to sign into your event, which usually it's not, but like maybe you need their email for something, you can just check that box and it will turn it on for being active and check this box to require it to register. But for the most part, we're able to gather like user data without having to check those. So that's how you add an extra question. If you wanted to add another question, you click here. And so that means when they register, they will be asked, what's your t-shirt size? And they will have to select an option in order to complete their registration. We have more options here. Speakers, you can add a speaker. Same thing with sponsors. You can redirect to a certain URL after registration. If this is part of a larger event, you can tie it to an event. Some of the things that are going to be more useful on here are waiver. So in the event part of the training, you will read about the assumption of risk waiver and the event risk waiver. This is where you find the event risk waiver. If your event is medium risk and you think that someone should do an event assumption of risk, or if it's high risk, or if it is a travel event, you will need to come in here and select event assumption of risk. That will populate this crazy thing, but that means that's the assumption of risk right there. Please do not edit anything. And then you will come down here and click the two options, include the waiver in the event registration page and make it mandatory. Users must agree to the waiver before completing their registration. This makes sure that people have signed the appropriate paperwork before doing a risky activity, such as jumping in a bounce house, going ice skating, going for a trip, so that you and the university are covered in case something happens. Another fun feature here is co-host this event. So if you are co-hosting with a different organization, you can just click that organization's name. You can click a lot of different ones. And then it will also show up on their page as an event. These pieces here, you're probably not going to use. However, let me show you event template. You can save all of the settings that you have put in for this event. For this group, you probably won't see platform-wide, but for this group, you can save it as a template. So the next time that you create an event, you can easily open the template and most of the things are going to be the same. So you can do that as well. So those are the most useful optional pieces on here. I encourage you to look around and see what's going to be useful for you to use for your events. Whether you want to ask extra questions when people register and sign up, or you want to put some extra images, send reminders, send a survey afterwards, etc.